Hi, if you want to be a better public speaker, a better conference speaker, then it's possible that when you've spoken at various events, you may have given yourself an excuse or an explanation or a reason why your particular slot didn't go as well as you might have liked. In fact, I've discovered there are 5 main reasons, main excuses that people give themselves for why their slot didn't go over so well. I'm going to share these 5 with you, and if you want to improve, you've got to get rid of these 5 for your explanations. So the first one is, I'm not natural. I'm not a natural public speaker. It doesn't come easily to me. Well, that's entirely possible, but it's not an explanation or an excuse. You see, think of it this way. If you were rubbish at using spreadsheets, but your business or your part of the business depended upon you creating up-to-date, accurate spreadsheets, you couldn't submit something that was a bit poor and go, well, I'm just not very good at it. And yet that's precisely the excuse that people give for not being good at public speaking. If you're not good at public speaking, you need to acquire some skills. You might need to work a bit harder on it. You might need some coaching. You might need to hire somebody that perhaps gives you some ideas that you like and you think maybe they can help me do this better. In short, you can't use the I'm not a natural as a reason or as an explanation. The second reason people give for not going so well is they had the wrong time slot in the day. Now the problem is the wrong time slot can be any time slot you want depending on your perspective. First off is difficult because the audience isn't warm. End of the day is difficult because everything's running over and everyone's tired. Straight after lunch, well, that's the graveyard shift. Immediately before lunch, people are thinking of lunch. Following somebody who's really good, well, that's difficult because you look bad. Following somebody who's really bad, well, that's difficult because now they're in a really bad condition. Look, none of this is acceptable. If you want to be a better speaker, whatever time slot you get, you work with. I will tell you, I prefer to be up first, but I'm happy going last, I'm happy going after lunch, I'm happy going wherever I go in the day. You need to adopt a similar approach. Third reason is the content. So people will say things like, I have got some rather dry content to explain. Of course, some content is more enticing than other content. Some work is naturally going to be more interesting, but this is then down to whether or not a speech is the right way to put across what you want to put across. It's down to the editing that you're going to take, and it's going to be down to how you structure and put the material together that you present to a live audience. A live audience is very different from writing an email, and yet many people write their conference speech as though it's an email. It's just a different beast. So if you're blaming content, you need to move away from that. The fourth excuse that people give is somehow it's the audience's fault. Now again, I will agree with you. There are some audiences that are lovely and fantastic and they're hanging on your every word. There are some audiences at the far end of the scale, sat there waiting for you to fail. There are some audiences that are somewhere in the between. But as with everything, if you're taking responsibility for how you present, you've got to assume that the audience largely wants to be there and largely wants to listen. And the final reason, the final excuse people give is they just didn't have the time to prepare. I get this, we're all really, really busy, but as with everything else, if you believe that the best way you can put your message across, the best way you can launch this product, or the best way you can address the troops is a public conference, a setting, a speech, something like that, then you need to allow the relevant amount of time for it. It's going to take far more time than you think, particularly if you're new to this. And if you're still at the stage where you arrive and you're working up your slides, or you arrive and somebody gives you your presentation, you're not allowing enough time for your presentation to be as good as it can be. So there we have it, the 5 key excuses that people give for why their presentation didn't work, and these are the 5 you've got to get rid of. Really hope that helps. Love to hear from you in the comments, including suggestions for what else you'd like me to cover, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.